Ladies and gentlemen, again, welcome to East Coweta Field, and tonight, East Coweta Baseball would like to recognize those in attendance who are currently serving or have served in the U.S. military. If that includes you, please stand at this time. We would like to thank all of you for your service and sacrifice that you have made so we can live in the greatest country that this planet has ever known. Tonight, we are honoring 3 veterans. They will be joining us on the mound at this time. First, we have Mr. Martin Benavidez. Mr. Benavidez is currently special education teacher and head track coach at East Coweta. Mr. Benavidez honorably served this great nation in the United States Air Force for 23 years. He served in various leadership positions as an aircraft and munitions officer. His pinnacle position held was a munitions squadron commander. He is a veteran in both Operations Iraqi Freedom and Enduring Freedom in Afghanistan. Thank you, Mr. Benavidez, for your service. Our next veteran is Mr. Mark Bowles, Sr. Mr. Bowles is the dad of East Coweta assistant coach Mark Bowles. Mr. Bowles, Sergeant Bowles, proudly served in the United States of America for 20 years and 1 month from 1974 to 94 in the United States Army. Sergeant Bowles was stationed in Fort Bragg, North Carolina for the majority of his career, with stops in Germany, Alaska, Panama, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, and Kuwait. While in the Army, he worked as a military occupational specialist in demolitions, served as an engineer as well as a paratrooper. He served in the 307th Combat Engineering Battalion, 317th Engineer Battalion, 37th Engineer Battalion, 20th Engineer Brigade, 18th Airborne Corps, and was a part of the 82nd Airborne Division from 1975 to 1983. Sergeant Bowles was a master parachutist and amassed 232 static line jumps from a multitude of Army and Air Force aircraft. Sergeant Bowles served in Desert Storm and Desert Shield in 1991. Sergeant Bowles received 2 Meritorious Service Awards, 9 Army Commendation Medals, as well as the Liberation of Kuwait and Defense of Saudi Arabia Award. Thank you, Sergeant Bowles, for your service. Our next veteran is Mr. Danny Blair. Mr. Blair is the dad of East Coweta assistant coach Brandon Blair and the grandfather of East Coweta junior catcher Hayden Blair. Mr. Blair served this great nation in 1970 and 1971 in the United States Army. While stationed in the United States, Mr. Blair was at Fort Gordon here in Georgia. Mr. Blair served in the Vietnam War for 1 year across 1970 and 71. Mr. Blair was an E4 while in the Army. Mr. Blair, we thank you for your service. Please help us in thanking these veterans and all of those that have served, sacrificed, and are currently serving. We don't know them all, but we know what we owe them all. Gentlemen, again, we thank you for your service, and let's those first pitches go. Again, let's give them and anybody else serving here today a fine round of applause.